Hello and welcome Okay! Now, before we were so rudely interrupted, hello and welcome everyone to my Let's Play Tomb Raider 3 The Lost Artifact expansion. This is Guys 115 speaking. As you can see, we don't get a momentary respite. Now, let me welcome you to the very final level of this amazing expansion called The Reunion. And yeah, for those of you who have played Tomb Raider 3, by now you know who is behind all of this. We've seen Miss Sophia Lay on the loading screen. This explains Lara's thoughts on who has enough money to pull that kind of operation off. And also really the name of Sling, the SL incorporated Sophia L. You know, she's not particularly good at covering her tracks. So this is who we are chasing, once again the artifact-hungry lady. Yeah, so there are a couple of interesting things tied to that, and we'll kind of explore even more devious powers of the Hand of Rathmore as we go further on into the level. Speaking of the Hand of Rathmore, we no longer have it. Once again, another French level, and once again we have lost the 5th artifact. I mean, Lara, seriously, this is just getting embarrassing. We have inserted it into body of a particularly dead-looking person, but my guess would be that the walls around us have just crumbled down and revealed following passages. Maybe the earthquakes even caused one of the boulders to start chasing us. Now, why do I think we are in the same area? Because if you do try to backtrack a little into what was the exit corridor from the previous level, well, you get a reward of a box of flares, but as you can see, the stairs back have crumbled down, so you are not gonna reach the Parisian street again. And over on the other side, whether you picked up the rockets and found Secret 3, there'll be nothing there anymore. That's where the beach used to be. And just like before, this kind of foggy effect is safe, but the element 115 beneath us totally is not, okay? So yeah, the layout is the same, at least in this part. The walls around us have crumbled down. Now, here's the very interesting thing. Some of the, well, the dangerous sticky goo was here for so long that it seems to have become solid over time, creating a platform with a couple of particularly explosive goodies, yeah? Now, be careful, these ledges do not extend all the way through, yeah? So, if you don't light up your flare, it might be invisible and you might be super confident and just end up dropping at the very end. Even more interesting is the background, the backdrop, so to speak. We see some planet, or could be just a moon, it's hard to say. But if it's the moon that belongs to the Earth or some of the other planets, or if we are then in the solar system, I really have no idea. But even more importantly, we see huge, enormous, well, I guess this is what the meteorites are supposed to look like. The meteorite that crashed into prehistoric Antarctica during the beginning of Tomb Raider 3 looked just like an ordinary piece of rock. But see, these seems to have the green substance all over their surface, which I find particularly interesting. So, it's quite remarkable what you can find in Parisian sewers, you know. Just like in a different game, silent walkthrough I did, The Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, you find such strange things in Parisian sewers, and well, in this Tomb Raider expansion, the case is no different. Now, be very careful about this boulder. It moves with the same amount of speed as a small one does, but being triple its size, it covers 3 times as much ground in the same amount of time, yeah? Now, you can actually avoid triggering it by simply making a diagonal jump and bypassing the first tile. But the reason I kind of want to trigger it is not just the thrill of it all, but also because it will allow us to pick up these 2 pairs of grenades, which, once again, the walkway doesn't extend all the way to the end, as visible once you light up a flare. Now, why do we get so many grenade pickups? It's kind of suggesting that grenade launcher is the weapon of choice for the following enemies. Now, there will really only be 11 enemies, including the boss herself. Actually, speaking about the enemies, let's introduce ourselves to our neighbors. Does that look familiar? That looks very much like the guy we inserted the Hand of Rathmore into. However, there are a lot of these guys, yeah? Now, it really raises an interesting question, just who are we looking at? They are not really vocacious. They pretend to bash Lara's head with just burning planks of wood instead of introducing themselves. I will explore them in greater detail. Actually, let me do exactly that. Now, first of all, mine the box of flares over here, which is very easy to miss due to the texture. And I believe the very final MP5 pickup, ever, so actually let's put the MP5 to good use, and actually let's let these guys come a bit closer. No? Okay, at least you, sir. Come on, don't disappoint us, we want a better look at you. Okay, so let me light up yet another flare, finally putting them to some use. They seem to have a hole in their chest, yeah, through the back, through the front, and actually patches of their skin are covered in dark brown spots, but the area surrounding the open wound is green, just like the artifact itself. So I'm not sure if we inadvertently resurrected them by putting the Hand of Rathmore into the chest of one of them. Oh my god, look how many more there are in different stages of resurrection, I would guess. Once again, I will explore these guys. First of all, let's light up another flare. Very flare-needy level, so to speak. So be very careful where you step here, because the dangerous, lethal goo is surrounding us everywhere. And here you have these kind of semi-covered tiles, which are just safe for you enough to reach the small health pack over on this side. And the other side, you know, is actually mirroring this one, so it's really no different. Let's take a shortcut there. Okay, and this one's even more covered in the goo, so let's not get too confident. There we go, another small health pack. But yeah, so it really kind of begs the question if Lara had anything to do with resurrecting them, or if it's purely Sophia Lay's work. I mean, if you remember some of the experiments she did back on those gang members back in London, it's kind of similar, you know, they had some regenerative powers even though they lost their faces. Oh, mind the rocket over here. So yeah, and we encountered some discarded bodies in the sewers. Now, talking about the floating bodies, here are the fishmen we encountered in the channel, you know, between England and France, these sort of mutants with, well, what I assumed were fish scales up until now, but now I'm kind of wondering maybe that has nothing to do with fish at all, and it's simply just the green Hand of Rathmore substance from the meteorite at play. Even if you look at the texture surrounding this place, those corpses everywhere, there are those hints of green substance. I find that very interesting. It's like these guys are in different stages of being resurrected. I believe there are actual catacombs underneath Paris, so this could actually really fit the setting. But, oh my god, look at this one. You know, I kind of hope that when Lara interrupted Sophia in her resurrection work, these guys are actually dead and not... Yeah, it really disturbs me, the red glare. Literally a red glare. And, you know, different poses. The basic T-pose for video game developers. Then you have this kind of floating body as if on sacrificial altar. We've seen, actually, the friends of Tony the Loon back from the jungle levels of Tomb Raider 3 like this in the Temple Ruins level, where they were presumably killed by the huge Shiva statues, yeah? So this is the same pose used. But this time around, you know, it doesn't really feel like we're playing a Tomb Raider level, but some Doom 1 or 2 level instead. Look at all these corpses, looking straight at us, judging us. Different stages of decay. Some of them look like they still have flesh on them. That's really interesting stuff. And actually, since somehow the Hand of Rathmore at work managed to resurrect Villard's ancestors, the Scotsman in Villard's lair, I think this is exactly what it does. It has the power to resurrect the dead. I have no idea what kind of space meteorite could do that, but there you go. We could start developing theories, maybe that's how life was brought up to Earth and this is something similar. Yeah, it's really interesting. Or you could take a biblical approach, the resurrection day has come, etc, etc, really up to you. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this wonderful widescreen patch, Lara, because right now what I'm going to do is save and switch to the unpatched version of the game. But, oh, before that, interesting thing to note, once again what we see here in the patched version of the game are 0 out of 3 secrets. Well, the truth of the matter is that in this last boss fight level there are no secrets to be found. And why were there correctly shown 3 secrets before? Because, as I said before, when Windows was thinking I'm running Tomb Raider 3, it offered the globe selection screen after finishing Sleeping with the Fishes. And if you choose South Pacific, it lets you pass into It's a Madhouse. And the first South Pacific level, Coaster Village, had a total secret count of 3, plus a bonus one, 4th one, yeah? So that's the logic that was applied on It's a Madhouse. And now in Reunion, my computer thinks we are at Crash Site, which again had 3 secrets, so it really follows the South Pacific route. Nevertheless, let me just quickly fix that. I will save right over here. There we go. and say goodbye to Slim and Sexy Lara, and let me introduce you to the Chubby Lara. Now, okay, I don't think Chubby Lara needs any introductions by now, but tell me honestly, dear viewer, have you not just missed her? Sure, she might have put on a few extra pounds, but she will kick ass even more. So, let's take a look at the stat screen. As you can see, the issue is now fixed, and there are indeed no secrets to be found in the reunion level. However, I'm going to be completely honest with you, there is another reason I switched into the unpatched version of the level, and that is simply because once we cross this gap, the race to the top, the boss fight with Sophia Lay will happen. Now, there'll be a lot of ass-kicking in between. However, using the Tomb Raider 3 executable, she will be undefeatable, because we will be facing off the Tomb Raider 3 version of Sophia Lay, which, as you can remember, was completely invulnerable except for a lethal dose of electricity. Now, there is no such lethal dose of electricity present in this level, and therefore I have to run the Lost Artifact expansion executable in order to make her defeatable at all. Why is this the case? I will explain as we reach that particular point. Now, without further ado, be ready to make 2 forward standing jumps, because the race is on! Woohoo! You can already see the green glow surrounding her. However, this time she doesn't have the Eye of Isis, but I assume the Hand of Ra attached to her staff. But she has all the powers she had with the Eye of Isis. She's not as invulnerable as before, but quite close, and we should not waste any time. Okay, she's charging up for a shot. Jump up, Lara! Okay, that was very close. That thing can take more than half of your health bar away, so be very careful. Talking about health bar, here is a way to refill it, but be careful, it's guarded by one of her minions, yeah? But one Desert Eagle shot does the trick. However, grenade launcher is so much more fun to use. However, due to the explosive kill count glitch, I will of course not use it. However, if you do get set off fire by one of these thugs, these villains, make a note of this handy pool over here. It's full of lovely bones, rotting flesh and marrow. Don't mind the smell, instead take in the fire-reducing properties that dousing yourself in water has, should you need it. Now stop right here and let the meteorite drop forward, because yep, it is still as lethal as standard boulders are and covers even more ground. Okay, you can kind of see her at the corner of the screen, charging up for another shot. My god, that was close! Hide underground, yeah, in the fallout shelter. Okay, great. Okay, not at all dizzy from the excitement. Nope, no sir. Now, yeah, as you can see, the side where she started running on contained a large health pack. Now, why am I picking it up now and not at the beginning? Is it because I'm a coward? Yes, that is also the case, but it is also because Miss Sophia Lay, being the wonderful cosmetics lady she is, has a constant force shield generated around her. And I will demonstrate exactly what I mean, but this shield is capable of... Oh dear god. Charge shot. Okay, that must be it. This shield is capable of not only chipping Lara's health away, but also pushing her to fall into that bottomless abyss. So, let me demonstrate exactly what I mean. I think this should be just within the radius of her shield. There, see? Our health was chipped away and we were pushed. This is what I mean, so that's why picking up the large health bank would have been impossible back then, but by now we have chased her, well, not all the way to the top, but high enough for us to pick it up. Saying that, let's get inside to take some cover from her annoying barrage of blasts. I'm not sure if she's charging up again. Oh dear god, I don't even know where to hide. Let's stay here, this is good, right? Ooh, nice. Okay, now let's get inside and see what awaits. Of course. No safety whatsoever. No privacy for you, Lara. I'm sorry. Okay, but mind you, one of these guys drops a small health pack, which is incredibly easy to miss, because no other... how do we even refer to them? I guess slaves would be fairly appropriate. No other slave drops anything in this entire level, so that's why. And yeah, of course we are being watched by more of them just to unnerve and unsettle us, but come on, we're tougher than that, surely. Now, once you pull this lever, the iron door over there should open, and this will allow us to reach the top tier of this level. Now, mind you, Sophia is still invincible at this point, yeah? there is still yet another piece of meteorite we need to trigger to fall, just like in Meteorite Cavern when facing Dr. Willard, the mutated Dr. Willard. We need to trigger it to fall down for him to become vulnerable, yeah? Okay, while she's climbing, pick up the large health pack at your earliest convenience and take cover! Okay, great. Now, the final piece of meteorite was falling down, as you might have noticed. And now I will, from a very safe spot, explain exactly what the whole fight is about. So, mind you, over on that side, that's 1 step of vertical height. Over on this side, it's 2 steps of vertical height. And this altitude, along with a unique angle, allows us to be completely safe from even her charged blasts splash damage. So that's wonderful. So basically, how about we equip a rocket launcher? What do you say? She should be totally vulnerable, right? Well, no, as you can see, that rocket did absolutely nothing, yeah? However, once she charges up her staff like this to fire a triple blast bolt, you can basically try and hit her during few brief animation frames of vulnerability. Now this is very tricky to time, so really the safest bet is to just choose the fastest firing rate weapon, like the MP5 here, and with a little bit of patience and persistence, she will die. However, really, where's the fun in that? I promised to you that we will use the rocket launcher, right? Well, not only that, but I will use it to deliver the killing blow, because there will be no kills awarded for killing Miss Sophia Lay, which basically means no explosive kill glitch will trigger either. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess. Either way, she's not gonna count, which is very unfortunate. However, instead of timing your shot just right, which is tricky due to the trajectory it has to fly through, let me just wait till she fires off her charged shot, and let's get to an even better area to kill her off from. Okay, there we go. Whew, okay, and more goodies over here, yeah, in case you're running out of rockets. Mind you, over on the other side over there, you can just make a short jump and pick up one of those rockets, and the same thing is in the other corner as well, so that's quite a lot of rockets to pick up. Clearly, the developers intended you to use the rocket launcher, but I really suggest you pick them up after you deal with her, because picking them up in those corners, it leaves you completely exposed to her blasts, and if you're lucky to dodge one of her charge bolts, you will still lose about 1/4 of your health per corner, so that's not very good. However, this is a safe spot for us, yeah? But a completely unsafe spot for Sophia. Credit for this strategy goes to Badassgamez. I have never even thought about this, and that wonderful YouTuber actually opened my eyes. If you stand here and shoot a rocket launcher, which by the way you can aim with using the look button. Once again, I had no idea, and I consider myself a Tomb Raider veteran. The splash damage from the rocket hitting that brick section on top of this slope will kill Sophia no matter what animation frame she is in. So while she is invincible to any impact from any weapon, she is not invincible to splash damage from rockets or grenades. Of course, lobbing a grenade over to her would be impossible. So this is really interesting, and I actually tested it out. It doesn't work if I'm running the Tomb Raider 3 executable, because that's Invincible Sophia, but it does work if I'm running the Lost Artifact expansion executable, like this one. So we could totally just fire off a rocket and be done with it. Please do try that and let me know if it works, or for some reason doesn't work for you. I managed to replicate it quite a few times very reliably, so I'm super happy that the strategy works. It's quite fascinating to me. Now, over on this corridor, mirroring the one on the other side, we get yet another pair of pickups. Once again, small health pack and a rocket. But what I'm gonna try and do, yeah, I'm gonna ignore those rockets for now, due to the amount of damage we would take. What I'm gonna try and do is do this the way I think it was intended to. So, I will try to time it just right, and I have failed miserably now. It's quite difficult to do because you cannot really see that well what animation frame she is in whilst you are side flipping. But usually after 10 or 11 shots she will start charging up, and that's when you want to hit her. So maybe for the last 2 shots, feel free to stand still like I just did. fire off that rocket, and if you notice the bit of static electricity surrounding Lara's body, I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to represent, whether intentional or a glitch, but that means you have landed a successful hit. Well, not just a successful hit, but the killing blow itself, okay? So, one rocket just about does it. I think one rocket is 3 Desert Eagle shots, so that is also a quite good weapon of choice, especially considering its accuracy and, well, not a high rate of fire, but still, maybe within 2 charge-ups you could defeat her instead of 1. We did it! And as you can see on the kills count, we have still 10 kills registered, yeah? So, first things first, I, of course, did not forget about our holy mission, the sacred duty we have to find every single pickup in every Tomb Raider game, right? So there we go. Actually, if you pick up one of these closer to the column, this will trigger a cutscene showing what would have been Sophia if she was still alive, of course. But now all we see is kind of the hand of Rathmore teasing us and taunting us to come and pick it up. Patience, please, you bloody thing, you little bugger. We lost you twice already, goddammit. First you were stolen right underneath our noses, and now... Ah, I love and hate that artifact, really. And there we get another shot at this, yeah. But yeah, so plenty of rockets to go around, and you really have enough ammunition by now to actually practice timing your shots, that kind of thing. As you can see, even I managed to not land one properly, but just keep on trying, you'll be fine. Ooh, was worried we'd hit Lara's head over there. And now, kind of the reason why we needed to do away with Sophia, because really, killing her does not trigger the level exit. Well, we need to open this door to slide into the level exit, yeah? Now, in order to open this door, we need to pick up the Hand of Rathmore. Kind of like the beginning trapdoor of the previous It's a Madhouse level, yeah? Once you pick it up, the way forward becomes completely open. There we go. Now, because of that passive shield Sophia had surrounding her, pushing Lara off, picking up the Hand of Rathmore without killing her would have been impossible. Now, for some reason she's surrounded by another, more of these, well, what I established are maybe not fish people, but look at those eyes, they're so goofy and funny. Yeah, so, failed specimens, you know. So, yeah, we can really admire the scenery, actually, pitch black darkness, but over in the distance we once again see the looming meteorite. I guess this means there are more of them in the Tomb Raider universe, it's really hard to say, and I find these hieroglyphical images also quite fascinating. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be maybe Christian icons back from times of Roman Empire, you know, underneath Paris, or what is it? Maybe something ancient, something completely made up, I truly have no idea. It looks like they're carrying an ark or a grave or something like that. But they seem to be wearing kind of ancient robes and have hair and beards and something like that. Looks more Greek than Roman, I truly do not know. But the point is that this little bugger over here has the power to resurrect dead people and apparently even cause mutations in between animals and humans, as we've seen on those creepy dog creatures at the beach in the previous level. Here we actually get an interesting look of the outside scenery. However, once you slide over here, I did mention that beach, didn't I? That's exactly where we're gonna find ourselves in. Now I prefer to slide with our back to the wall. The reason for that is that I'm worried Lara's gonna hit on the solid surface if her head's gonna clip just a little through the very ceiling and end up breaking her neck. It really reminds me of falling through Bartoli's chimney back in Tomb Raider 2 on a special Christmas episode. Ah, those were the days. Now, once you pass through here... Wow! We have a hot air balloon waiting to pick us up. Look how gorgeous it is. It's definitely lavish and luxurious, and I bet you anything it was owned by Sophia and this was supposed to be her emergency pickup, maybe? It seems to be handled by an old sailor-looking guy, really. Well, he's sailing the clouds, you could say. That's definitely not Winston, that's actually what I used to think the first time I played this expansion years and years ago. And no, that'd be very cool, but no, this seems to be a more better-maintained gentleman than Winston is. And as you can see, there are fire barrels to kind of support, to give the hot air to support the balloon to go up. So now, once we step through the boundaries of these two grades, this is by the way the same beach that was the third secret of the previous level where the large health packs were, we will finish the expansion and thus end the whole Tomb Raider Core Era trilogy. Yeah. Oh my god, we actually did it. It took years and years of hard work and effort and... Okay, I'm rambling, I'm sorry, I'm just very emotional. Let's see what the final statistics screen looks like. Oh my god, we did it! 15 out of 15 secrets! So my whole version swapping initiative has paid off. Maybe that, or maybe just finishing the final level without using the patched version of the game would have been enough. It's really difficult to say. But there we go, the secrets count is correct. Now the time taken is 4 hours and 14 minutes. Mind you, the expansion would be far more shorter if you're just playing the level and, you know, unlike me, not rambling on and stopping to inspect every single detail and theorize about the backstory. But, you know, that's the price to pay for a Let's Play. We have killed all 223 enemies. Mind you, Sofia doesn't count as a kill. And, of course, there is the dilemma with the dolphins in Sleeping in the Fishes, kind of like the dilemma with the orcas back in Tomb Raider 3. Look at that accuracy, that is impressive. I mean, accuracy with a shotgun was poor, but then again, that is literally one shot. With those fast-firing weapons, I guess we were pretty damn accurate. That's very good. And look at this, during the entirety of the expansion, only the equivalent of one large health pack used. We have also only traveled 19.33 kilometers, which is basically the real-life equivalent of 1 day's worth of proper hike. Wow! Oh, this feels great. We did it. That's Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3 with each respective expansion levels ended, finished, dominated, explored through and through. Every single object, item and enemy accounted for. I cannot describe how this feels. Proper damn sense of accomplishment. Thank you so much for being with me on this amazing journey, and I will stop rambling right over here because I have a lot of work ahead of me. I will see you guys next time in the Lost Artifact Expansion Statistics video.